Welcome to the Educate and Empower podcast, where we educate the community around healthcare and a healthy lifestyle.
Hi everyone, Rebecca East here. Welcome back to the Educate and Empower podcast. I'm so excited for you guys to be here and to be sharing you this amazing journey. Ben, thanks so much for joining me today. I realize this is going to be a little bit of a tough challenge for you to do, and so I'm really grateful for you being my first podcast guest today. I just know that someone will benefit from our conversation today. So, again, thanks for being my first candidate. Let's start with who you are and what's been the challenging health issue that I've brought you in to chat today about.
I'm Ben, 33 years old. So, as in challenging issues prior to the surgery.
Yeah.
Suppose what my challenges were just day to day living, the struggles of being overweight and the simple tasks of, like getting in and out of cars freely. If I was down on the ground working on like my speedway car or something, getting back up again was a struggle. The pain in my knees and my ankles,
Yep.
struggled with that a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. And then those challenges, what did it see you end up, I guess, deciding to undergo?
Yeah, I underwent the bariatric sleeve.
Yep, that's right. So gastric sleeve. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so those struggles was what led me to make the decision to have the operation to benefit my health
Yeah.
for the future.
And how many months are we, or how many years are we since you had your gastric sleeve surgery?
Um, I had my operation on the 5th of November 2021, so this November will be 3 years.
Yeah. And I guess what were some of the biggest challenges throughout that 3 years? So there was you had obviously quite a lot of health issues prior to deciding to undergo that surgery. But what was what are some of the biggest challenges you faced during that, from November till now and that weight loss journey itself?
The biggest challenges for me is I was a food lover, and when go for the operation, it's literally you've got to the next day completely readjust what you eat, your intake, like the size of your mouthfuls, like from drinking and eating. And the biggest thing is literally going from being able to drink full mouthfuls of water or full mouthfuls of foods to literally a teaspoon at a time of foods and wanting to have more, but you physically can't because it will be very painful. So adjusting to the intake and not being able to eat like you used to, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
And basically learning a complete new lifestyle because you've got to change your lifestyle to make this operation successful. You can't just have the operation and then just keep on rolling with what you used to do prior. Um, Also, learning what foods your body will accept.
Yeah.
For example, I used to be able to eat tomatoes, no dramas. But then after the operation, tomatoes made me feel sick. I used to be able to drink orange juice and milk, no dramas prior to the operation. After the operation, to this day, I still can't stomach orange juice, like fruit juice, anything like that. If I have two or three mouthfuls of that, for some reason, it just rejects it and comes back up. So learning a whole new life again, pretty much of eating, a complete new lifestyle, and just the way you live your day to day, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is a real lifestyle change, but it is a real mindset change, isn't it?
Yeah,
Would say it's not just about the food element or changing the lifestyle that you currently have, but it's actually around getting an understanding of what your body's telling you. So you really have to have that mind body connect to
yeah,
understand what it wants and what it doesn't want when you're hungry or you're not hungry, what it feels like or what it does feel like. Yeah.
yeah. The mindset of it is you want to eat food like hamburgers and all the stuff you used to eat,
Yeah.
but you can't.
Mm.
But you got to keep on reminding yourself of, I made the decision to have this operation and change my lifestyle to better my health for the future. So you got to continually be reminding yourself of your goal and stay focused on it and try not to go off track.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's during your last 3 years, but I just want to go back to the I guess the reason why. What was the kind of final straw, or what made you made that last decision? Like, what was it that broke your decision and said, I actually have to make this decision in terms of I'm actually going to have quite a large operation to help me with my health goals long term, and I guess ensure that I am here for a longevity, particularly around your genetics, and the health issues that you have genetically predisposed to you. What can you just share with me that? What was that last decision? Like, what kicked you into going? Actually, I don't. I want to do this now. I don't want to live like this anymore.
So there's probably four main reasons. One of the reasons is I would look at my dad being very overweight in his 50s, mid 50s, and late 50s, and the struggles he was going through. So that was one of the reasons. Is I didn't want to get to that age and still be struggling, or still be struggling, because if I didn't have the operation, I would be struggling now in my 30s. I'd be struggling even more in my 40s, 50s, and 60s, and so on.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons. Second reason is I've got a speedway car that I love to race, and when I was at my weight prior to my operation, I knew it was dangerous being in the car at that size and that weight, but I never really thought about it until I actually thought one night, if I actually crash the car or roll it and get stuck or it catches on fire, I'm not getting out.
Mm.
They're not getting me out. I'm too big to just, boom, jump out at the click of a finger. And I thought, that's not the way I wanted to die.
Yeah.
Another reason is I love snowboarding. And snowboarding at the weight I was stupid and dangerous. And if I fell off at that weight, could have done some serious damage to myself.
Mhm.
And then probably the biggest reason is my brother had a kid, my nephew, and when he got up and about and started walking and running, I couldn't keep up with him.
Mhm.
And he was continually wanting to play and do things and be out in the sandpit. And I would be like, oh, mate, I'm buggered. Like, I can't do it. I can't
Yeah. Yeah.
do. And then I was like, this is really disappointing because I wanted to do those things, but I couldn't because I was literally buggered. My knees were sore, my ankles were sore. And then I was like, no, I'm doing it.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, there's four pretty good reasons.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I
100%.
didn't make a decision overnight. I thought about it for quite a while. Um, yeah, but they were my reasons to make the decision.
Mm.
And yeah, just to live a fitter, healthier, hopefully longer life,
Yeah.
and more enjoyable lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for very valid reasons, but it actually, in my practice, I hear those conversations very regularly. A lot about genetics, a lot about a lifestyle, and a lot about nieces and nephews, grandkids, or your own kids. So, um, yeah, it's a very big decision, but one that's obviously significantly benefited you not only physically but mentally. I want to just touch on around that time that you made the decision. How did you go about accessing, like, I guess, a specialist? How did you navigate through the healthcare system in terms of, getting the best care for you? Because I find personally, as a professional, that there are a lot of I guess, patients don't know where to start in terms of getting someone to support them for or engage with someone for weight loss surgery. What were your next steps once you'd made that decision? What did you do in terms of how did you get into the system to then see a specialist to then, I guess, link in with me?
So I went to my local doctor and spoke to him about it. Told him what I wanted to do, and he gave me a referral to a local surgeon who I booked in with and went and saw. Um, so then that surgeon had the Holistic Care Collective working with them.
Yeah.
So when I actually saw the surgeon, I asked him heaps of questions, like, qualify, I guess, to do the operation, as it's not an easy operation for them to do. But what he put me onto the Holistic Care Collective, and they were the ones that sealed the deal for me. Once I got to know those guys, they made me feel very comfortable. Um, but I felt very welcomed and safe. I don't trust a lot of people, but they built trust with me very, very quickly. Um, yeah, so once I got in with those guys and went about that, that's
Yeah.
how I got into meeting the Holistic Care Collective.
Yay.
Yeah, and it's a big thing. Like, it's not an easy operation, and you got to trust the people who are looking after you.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I can't fault the care I've been given from those guys. Yeah.
That's good. Can I just ask, when you went and saw your GP, was he open to having those discussions, or was it did they discuss other options? I'm just interested to know whether whether that consult was very much, yeah, I'm very happy to support you and here's your referral, or was there other options or other discussions, I guess, yeah, discussed at that time.
Yep. So I had been to my GP about weight loss before, and had been given I can't think of the tablet's name.
Do you remind?
Curamine. Yeah, it does work for a short period of time, but it also can, like, play with your head a little bit. You have your tablets and whatnot. You're awake for long periods of time.
Yeah.
You get a script for 30 days or for the month. Yeah, you might drop 8 or 10 kilos. After that, if you don't maintain it, you put it back on very. It's very, very short term fix that's not worth it. If you ask me, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. I got that quite a few times. Now looking back on it, I don't agree with it. When I went to him, I never got given the option of this operation. It never got mentioned. I just kept on getting the Duromine scripts, and here, have this, have this, have this. And it wasn't until a friend of mine had actually had it done years ago, and I spoke to him. That's when I went and made the decision myself to go and see my GP, and I brought it up with him, and he was like, "Yep, I'm all for it. This is a great idea." So a little bit disappointed that I wasn't given that option 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years prior to all of that.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, oh, here's some more tablets. Here you go.
Yeah.
But I would lose 8 or 10 kilos
Yeah.
and then put it back. And it was just a cycle going backwards and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay. That's really good. While we're on, those conversations around having weight loss surgery and things like that, you and I know both that there is a remarkable amount of misconception around weight loss surgery. And I just want to guess you get your perspective on how your journey has been and what misconceptions you've either had engagement with other, you know, whether it's been family members or the community or friends or, you know, other practitioners. What would you say? I guess the question is, what would you say to someone that is gonna, you know, is looking at having surgery and is scared about, I guess, patients or people judging them? What are some of the misconceptions that you had of the having the surgery, or what are the misconceptions that people have had about the surgery and that has actually impacted you? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So a lot of people will tell you that this is the easy way out.
Hmm.
It's an easy fix. It's an easy option than going to the gym and this and that and everything else. It's far from easy.
Yeah.
Um, it is hard. It can be very challenging, but it is worth it. Um, you've still got to how do I say it?
Work at it.
Yeah, you've got to work with it. It doesn't. You know, you can have this operation and it is going to work. You know, if you just don't work with it, you know, you might lose X amount. But if you change your lifestyle, do the hard yards, and you know, exercise and walk and whatnot, and work with it, your results could be endless. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So those people who say it's easy, it's not. Um, I think that's the big thing. One of the big things for me is when I did have the operation, a lot of people did say, "Oh, you took the easy way out," and it's, no, that's not easy. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And did you get any judgment?
Yeah, I got quite a lot of judgment
Yeah.
about it. I actually didn't tell anyone. I think family and two close friends knew that I went and got it done because I was worried about what people would think. You know, you're getting half your stomach removed. You know, and people did say to me, "Oh, why don't you just go to the gym?" I was going to the gym. I was flogging myself,
Yeah.
and it wasn't working. But that's just my body. I was working hard in the gym, and I wasn't seeing results. And half of my problem is I was just overeating.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going from somebody who can eat normal and eat whatever you want, whenever you want, whatever, to boom, surgery, cold turkey. That's it. So that's hard as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
While we're on this, and I'm just going to keep going with the flow, what would you say to someone who is thinking about weight loss surgery? What kind of advice would you give, either whether they were whether they were even just literally considering it? What advice would you give?
Um, don't do it just because. You've got to want to do it. I think this operation, you can't just go in and be like, "Oh, bugger it, I've had enough of being overweight. Boom, I want it done.
Yeah.
I'm fixed." You've got to want to do it. You've got to want to change your life. And you're like, prior to the operation, you've got to throw that all out the window.
Yeah.
You've got to learn a new lifestyle, a new diet, a new way of life. You've got to have goals as well. So prior to making your decision, you really need to understand why you want to do it.
Yeah.
And you've got to sit there and go, well, I'm prepared to make major changes in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't, yeah, I wouldn't rush into it.
Yeah. That's
Think about it. Think about why you want to do it. And then set your goals, what you want to achieve out of it, the lifestyle you want to live, and then go from there.
it's really good advice. Really good advice. What this has not just been about weight loss for you though, has it?
No.
You know, this has been the knock on and the journey for you in terms of your confidence and your, I guess, your self development and your professional growth. let's talk about your growth in terms of you and your own self. Yes, you've lost the weight. Yes, you've got a healthier lifestyle, but it's knocked on to everything that you've done in your life. And you've achieved so much in the last 3 years that you should be really proud of yourself. Tell me what I like other than the weight loss. It's been amazing. You're riding your bike however many Ks a day, that's incredible. But it's had, as I said, it's had this massive knock-on effect to who Ben is. And I always refer to it as that kind of next version of you. And there's always an evolvement of you. You've had some significant involvement. But tell me your journey outside of the weight loss journey. Explain to our listeners that it isn't just about your weight. It has a massive impact. Tell me about that, if you're happy to share.
Yeah. Yep. So prior to my weight loss journey and the operation, my job prior to that, I guess I was a person that didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could start my own business. I didn't think I could do a lot of things in life. And I purely think that's because I couldn't move properly. I had sore legs, I had sore ankles, all that stuff that goes with it. Um, so the person I was back then is completely different to the person I am now.
Yeah.
Once I had the operation and got in a better mindset and a more positive mindset of wanted to do well in life, once I started getting the weight down and I started moving more freely, I had more energy to want to get out and do things. And it started raising my confidence of, like I've just changed my life with this operation. I've lost weight. I feel good. I'm looking better. It gave me the confidence to branch out and do my own thing, with like starting my own business and whatnot. Things that I would always sit back and think, oh, I can't do that. I was always too big, or I was too unfit, or whatever it might be. So yeah, once I got the kilos down and started getting a better mindset, positive mind frame, and whatnot, I went on to apply for a job that I got knocked back on 3 years prior to my
Yeah.
operation because of my weight, um, and ended up buying a truck and doing my own thing, and was confident to pretty much walk in and have a crack at anything, and not take no for an answer. No, you can't do it because you're overweight or whatnot. And yeah,
You almost seemed invincible, weren't you?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very, very confident in my ability. Is you're moving freer. There's no pain in your legs or in your knees or ankles and whatnot. Um, Become a lot happier. And I think when you do become happier, it's just a whole new world. Like look at everything different. The way you go to hop into your car, the way you get out of your car, it's just like, oh wow, I just hopped in and hopped out with ease. There was no pain. It wasn't a struggle. Those little things boost your confidence, and yeah, you become invincible to a point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm sure we had this conversation during our last 3 years of journey as well. But I think a lot of patients see the fact that if they're making a massive, they're taking a massive risk in, and I don't say massive risk lightly. Any type of surgery is risky, right? This operation is just as risky as others. But there's a lot of other, I guess, specialized risks around this weight loss surgery. But I think once you go through this, and particularly I know this for you, it's true for you, is that, the biggest risk was having this surgery. And if you can get through that, you can kind of get through anything. And I think just that gave you
yeah,
that massive confidence. As you say, you felt better in yourself and your self worth was, through the roof. And you had the self confidence to actually, as you say, quit your job and go in deep with it, your own business. And the rewards that you've reaped now within, several, 12 months, 18 months of running your own business, and now kind of now navigating the next version of yourself, because you've evolved again, and that's really powerful. But I think by, you become almost, or a lot of patients, not just you, a lot of post patients, weight loss patients after surgery go, well, if I can achieve this and I can go through the puree liquid stage, the puree stage, and then be, as you say, the drinking and hurting. If I can achieve that and achieve the goals that I have set in terms of my weight gain and my health, then anything's possible. So you kind of just leverage that to then better yourself,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just, you just kind of now I just want to do good, be successful at whatever I do.
absolutely. So what does the future Ben look like? What is the next version of Ben now? As I said, we've evolved and you continue to evolve. What does the next version of Ben look like, 6 months,
Um,
months from now?
Next version of me, I'm going to do a little bit of traveling. I still have a couple of business ideas that I want to look right into. But for now, for the next couple of months, is just be happy, enjoy life, continue brainstorming on business ideas. But I've come out of one business, and now I think I just need a bit of a break and a bit of Ben time,
Yep.
a bit of travel, just be happy, enjoy life, and then I'll figure out and I'll know when the time's right to dig in deep again and start another business or buy another business and go from there. So, yeah, ideally, I want to work towards being a business owner again,
Yep.
and working for myself, and putting all my thoughts and ideas into motion and hopefully be successful.
No, not hopefully. We know you're going to be successful. You already
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell me about the most surprising part of all of this journey. What has surprised you out of everything that you've been through? What was the most surprising part?
Um, that's a bit of a hard one. This is a little bit of a weird one as well. Surprisingly, my confidence has gone through the roof in like all aspects of life, like approaching a business, starting a business, just confidence in life in general. But when it comes to talking to women and stuff like that, or going out, I'm very, very shy.
Yeah.
Prior to my operation, I wasn't a shy person. I
Mm.
didn't really care what people thought. I'd talk to anyone, anywhere. Now, I think when it comes to that, yeah, I'm very shy.
Yeah. Okay.
Not sure why,
Yeah.
but that's very surprising with me. It kind of went the opposite way.
Yep.
Yeah, if that made sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So just engaging in, conversation with particularly other females, and that dating
Yeah,
scene and getting to know, and I guess putting yourself back out there. You've had on and off relationships during this journey, but they really haven't been, I guess, confidence boosting. But yeah, you've gone the opposite,
yeah,
which is strange because you're confident, as you say, in everything else. So um, I'm sure you will get there, Ben. I have no doubt
yeah,
you'll get
yeah.
there. And yeah, I'm sure there's a beautiful woman waiting out there for you very soon.
Yeah. I suppose another thing is one of the surprising things is the confidence to, if somebody says it can't be done, or you tell something to somebody about one of your ideas and they're like, nah, can't be done, nah, you won't do it. And it's just like, hey, watch me. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what I can do.
Mm.
Um, prior to my operation, if somebody said, "Oh no, you can't do it," I'd be like, "Oh well, yeah, I can't," and
Mm.
I had no confidence in myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, "Don't tell me what to do. Like, watch me do it," type
You're,
thing.
you're boss man.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like a whole new life. Like
Yeah.
that's another surprising thing. Like it's what I was prior to the 5th of November 2021 to now is, for anyone who knows me, completely opposite, completely different person in like
Mm.
positive, good ways. Yeah, so it's just amazing how, if you stick to it and do the hard yards and do the operation for the right reasons and genuinely want to change your life for the better, yeah, the person you become is, yeah, wow, different.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
And that's the power, isn't it? That's the stuff that that I love. For me, it's never been about your weight. And any patient that walks in their door, there's certainly no judgment about any of that. But what's more important to me is watching this growth from a personal growth. It's got nothing. I mean, yeah, of course, as a health professional, I want to see the numbers come down and I want to see the goals in terms of your medical management. But what I love is and that's part of the reason, majority of the reason I got you on today is because it's actually about the life stuff. It's about the confidence and it's about you going in and winning the world.
yeah,
There's no way that when we met in, it would have been September, October, even before that, in 2021,
yeah,
you would have said to me, I'm going to own my own business and I'm going to I'm going to be very successful and I'm going to travel. I'm going to have the ability to travel the world in 3 years' time. You would have laughed at me if I said that's what we
yeah,
would achieve.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But now looking at it, you're like, I'm kind of over the business thing. I'm just going to go and see what else I can shake up.
yeah,
And I'm going to see the world. And, to be able to have that confidence is just amazing. That's that real passion piece for me. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it lights me up and gives me just as much as you get from me. Absolutely. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
not all roses and it's not all easy. Was there any? Can you just share with me one, if you have one pivotal point in your journey that you went, shit, this is too hard. I'm out. I don't. Or um, yeah, what have I done is quite often a conversation that we hear from patients. Was there any really low part that you can share with our listeners who are, don't want to hear just the benefits, but the times where you were in the trenches and we engaged more consults or we had bigger, harder conversations.
So never once have I regretted it or sat there and said to myself, I've made the wrong decision or I shouldn't have done this. I've never ever said that because I made sure before I committed to the operation, I knew what I was in for.
Yep.
I, with going to the Holistic Care Collective, they explain all that to you. Like, it's not going to be easy. There is going to be speed bumps and is going to be slight little roadblocks. But when I did face those challenges, they were challenges like, wanting to eat more, but you can't, or wanting to eat a certain food, but your body won't accept it.
Yep.
And it's kind of a funny one that you actually get a little bit emotional that you can't eat a certain food because you absolutely love it, but you can't. Sometimes I get a bit down because I couldn't eat certain foods or, I just wanted to enjoy this or enjoy that, but I couldn't. But then I quickly told myself, no, you made this decision for a reason. Stick to the game plan, push through it. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it.
Yep.
So then I was, sometimes I would get down in a rut, but I generally pull myself out of it pretty quickly. Another challenge I had is somebody who I thought was a friend picked on me and poked at a little bit of loose skin that I had one day. Prior to that happening, I was on cloud nine, felt good, was looking good, thought I was doing the best job ever. But then to have that happen, like, oh, wow, okay, is it that bad? And that shot me down in flames to the point where I, what is it? Is it like anxiety? I stopped going to the supermarket during the day. I'd go to the supermarket at like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh shit, is it that noticeable? Like, are people going to be looking at me? Are people going to be judging me?
Mm.
So yeah, that flattened me for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like that's the good thing about the holistic care collective is they help you through all that, and they keep your head on your shoulders. I guess if that's a way to put it. Um, it's not easy going through things like that, especially when it comes from somebody who you thought was a friend,
Yeah, absolutely.
who throws that on you. Um, but then once you get the support of the holistic care collective, and you get back on your feet with their help, and realize that it's not as bad as what it was made out to be. You just overthought that person's comment, and you're back on cloud nine again.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Win-win.
yeah.
I've only got a few more questions, I think, and then I can leave you alone for the rest of your day. What tools and resources or would you recommend you use? Obviously, we recommend a lot of protein and stuff, but was there any one thing other than the Holistic Care Collective that you used to during your journey? Like, did you journal? Did you have special recipe books? Did you, jump online, or did you, other than our services, was there anything else, any other tools or resources that you would highly recommend?
So the biggest thing for me is I'd done everything by the book that Holistic Care Collective helped me with. But the book that they gave me, with all the recipes in it, is great.
Yeah.
But your body isn't necessarily going to accept and like all of those recipes and all those things in the cookbook.
Yep.
So it was a matter of still finding what your body liked. So there was a lot of trial and error with foods and going to the supermarket, and you might make yourself something, eat it, and your body completely rejects it and doesn't like it. I pretty much seeked advice from the Holistic Care Collective on most things. Other than that, I didn't really go online and see what other people were doing. I just kind of ran my own race with, oh, my body likes this, right? I would write it down. My body doesn't like that. I would write it down.
Yep.
And just learn. You're learning what you can and can't eat. You're just starting all over again.
Yep.
Another thing, what did you say about writing down?
Yeah, like, was there anything that you like? I know that, um, you know, I mean, we definitely engage a lot more in the services that were allocated, I guess, to you than what you had, and that was your choice because you didn't want to fail. You wanted the support services, and you knew I guess, the benefit and there's research that says the more that you engage with a specialist in this weight loss area, the more successful you are going to be long term. But are there any other, like, did you have a specific cookbook that you use other than our one? You know, is there, anything that, like, you've done a lot of cooking, you really invested in the nutrition element to it. Was there any, websites that you used a lot, or was there anything other than, that you would recommend?
Not so much websites. Yeah, I honestly just went my own way about it.
Mm.
I would just make sure whatever I was making had a high protein,
Yeah.
uh, and pretty much just trial and error,
Mm.
learn my own way.
Yeah.
I guess you can go online and find out what other people are eating and follow what other people are doing. But I kind of just wanted to run my own race, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
So
that
your
makes sense.
advice would be just trust your own instincts.
Yeah, and listen to your body.
Yeah.
That's another thing one thing I did do is I did read up on other people's stories.
Yeah.
And Some people lost big numbers in the first 12 months. Some people lost little numbers.
Mm.
When I first initially read that, I was like, oh, am I going to be one of the big numbers or am I going to be one of the little numbers?
Yeah.
Then I quickly learned that everybody's body is different. Everybody's journey is going to be different.
Mm.
Some people in their first 12 months do lose big numbers, some people don't. You've just got to let your body do its thing, listen to your body, and just go with it. But
Yeah.
you've got to work with it as well. Um, so, yeah, you just got to listen to your body.
Yeah.
I'd probably just doing your own thing and running your own race. Don't compete with somebody else who's had it done because their body's different. Like everybody reacts different. If that made sense.
100%. And it's that fantastic advice because as a healthcare professional, every single patient's journey is different. So what you read on the internet and what you feel that, you might even have a family member that's had this surgery and they've gone, oh no, but I could eat this and they could do this. Well, that's nice, but this is your own journey. And as long as you, as you say, you're doing it for yourself, and then you've had to make your journey. And so by fueling yourself the right way that your body tells you to do it, you can't fail. You really can't. And it's just staying in your own lane and working with your healthcare professionals to really get the best out of the tool that you've just engaged in.
Yeah. Like as an example, how much your body can change with this operation is I used to be able to drink beer after beer after beer, no dramas prior.
Yeah.
Um, I know a guy who's not from here who he can still drink beer after beer after beer after beer and no dramas with the same operation that I've had. Me, I have one mouthful of beer now,
Yeah.
and once it hits my stomach, it burns like to the point where I need to go and throw it back up. So I honestly haven't had a
Yep.
beer for 18 months, 2 years,
Yeah.
because if I have a mouthful, it burns. So it just goes to show that, yeah, you really need to listen to your body and what your body will and won't accept.
Yeah.
So that guy I know, he can still drink beer.
Yeah.
Prior to the operation, I could drink beer after beer, no dramas. So it just goes to show you that, yeah, that the changes can be pretty big
Yeah.
with what your body will and won't accept.
Absolutely. 100%. I've got one last question. I can't thank you enough for sharing your journey with me today, Ben. And it's been an absolute honour to be part of your journey. And I'm sure we have not finished yet. Um, if what do like you agreed to come onto this, and these type of things are not easy for you. What do you hope the people, our listeners, get out of this? Like, what's the one thing that they could take away from that you would hope that by you giving your time today and breaking down those weight loss surgery journey, what do you hope that a listener gets out of this?
I hope that whoever does watch this, that it helps them make the decision to go ahead and do it, but also the right way to make the decision. Like as I explained earlier, think about it. You write down your reasons why you want to do it. Write down your reasons and what you want to achieve in the future. Um, the fitter, healthier, longer life. Hopefully, it helps people make that decision to go about it the right way. I'm not saying my way was the right way. I think the way I went about it was it worked for me.
Yeah.
I had reasoning behind it. I didn't just do it for no reason, just because I wanted to be skinny.
Yeah.
It's purely because I didn't want to struggle in life anymore,
Mm.
and I want to live a longer life. So, if the information that I've passed on today, I guess, helps one person, that's a win.
Yeah.
If it helps 10 people, that's an even bigger win. If it helps more, that's, it's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for today. I really appreciate you being vulnerable today. And as I said, being my first podcast guest. Um, we are signing off. Thank you all listeners to, thanks Benny. Thank you all so much. Ben's journey has been a remarkable one, and a lot of people can learn from it. Don't forget to follow or, watch and listen and all of those things, the Educate and Empower podcast, and have a great day.